Good morning, I'm Ranger Dave and welcome to West Valley Rural. Now today I'm going to be talking about trees. Now specifically I'm going to be talking about the mesquite tree. Now when a lot of people move to Arizona, their first introduction to the mesquite tree, they might see it as they're crossing the desert, or their closest introduction will be at a parking lot. They'll see a mesquite tree and they have no idea that there are specifically two different varieties of that tree. And that's what I'm going to be covering today. Now, when you go to a nursery to buy a mesquite tree, you're typically going to be introduced to what I tend to call the South American variety or version. Okay? It's different, slightly different from what you see out in the desert, what I call the North American version or variety. Okay? They're relatively similar, but there's some interesting differences that I'm going to be covering today. So let's get started. Let's talk about them mesquite trees. Now here I have both varieties of mesquite side by side on my property. Okay, now they go by different names, especially the ones that you're going to find in the nursery. Okay, but I try to keep it simple. You have the South American version, okay, sometimes going by Brazilian mesquite or Peruvian mesquite. Okay, again, I just keep it real simple. This one you'll find primarily in South America, Arizona to south. Okay, this is the one that you'll typically see across the desert. Okay, this is your North American one. Again, I call this the South American one. I try to keep it simple. Everybody's got different names. Everybody's got different scientific names. But I want you to notice the difference in the canopy. Okay, specific canopy. Okay, one is much thicker. The South American version is much thicker than the North American version. Again, this is the version you're going to see scattered about the desert. Sometimes not very tall. They're more going to be large bush size because they haven't been trimmed up. Okay, but this is the one you'll see more in the outlying deserts, across in your washes. This is the one you'll see. And this is the one you're going to see essentially in your parking lots, the ones that you're going to find at your nursery. Okay, this, again, there's two different varieties. This one you'll find out if you go hiking, you'll see this one. If you go driving into a Sam's parking lot, you'll see this one. They look notice the difference in the canopy. Okay, and there's also other differences as well. This one, of course, being North American version, is a little bit more drought hardy. Okay. This one is very drought hardy, but at the same time, there's a reason it's a South America. South America, they get a little bit more rainfall. Okay, so both are very drought hardy. The North American one, or the one you'll find out in the desert, is just a bit more drought hardy. Essentially, whenever I planted these, I get them started, and after a period of time, I just trim them. I don't even bother watering them anymore. And they seem to be doing just fine. The other versions, I have a dripper on. I still run the dripper on the South American version ones. Okay, again, notice the canopy. Now let's go notice some other differences. And you'll find out why this one is not used in parking lots, while this one is. Okay, I'm at one of my picnic tables. I want to show you I took a couple clippings from both varieties of trees again. This is they're a little bit more lush in the spring. This is more fall foliage. So this is your one you're going to find in your nursery. Okay, this is again Peruvian, Brazilian, whatever. For me, it's just simple. This is South American version. This is North American version. This is the one you're going to find out in your washes. Now, what's the difference there? You notice it? You notice it? Anything jump out at you? Anything jump out at you? That is a nasty thorn. And if anybody's ever trimmed them, you almost regret trimming them. So there's different purposes. This is why you're going to find this one in your parking lots. And this is why you're typically not. You may, but typically you're not going to find the one without the other. Okay, this is your seeds if you're looking for seeds. I'm going to show you how to grow them in another segment, but this is for your, what's the difference? One's a bit longer, one's a little bit fatter. Okay, this is the one you're going to find in nursery, your South American version. This is the one you're going to find out in your desert, your North American version. Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay, I'm out here at my planting table and I've got some trees started. These are all about 2 years old. I planted them 2 years. I'm growing these for my son-in-law and my daughter's property. They bought 20 acres about 6 miles away, and I'm started them a small forest. And I tell everybody when they move into a rural area, especially rural Arizona, get your trees started as soon as possible. And all I did was just gather up the seeds off the ground from the one tree, and this is what you essentially do. It's real simple. Some seeds. Dig them down. Dig them down in the pot. Water the pot, and you'll have a sprout. And then you just let them grow. Like I say, these are about 2 years old. And then, so free trees. Just to have a pot and just add water. And like I say, these are the ones I'm growing here are the North American version, the ones you find in the rural area. And one reason you can tell, come on, focus. See that? It's got that thorn growing already. Because we want to start a nice hedgerow on their property, get them a forest going. And I'll be planting more for them at a later date, probably this spring. All right, let's move on. All right, I'm at another one of my trees. I just want to emphasize the difference then. It focuses in on. And see the thorn? And this is your North American version. Okay, see the thorn? North American version, your native ones that you're going to find on the desert will have that thorn. Let's go over to another one. All right, and this is the variety. Again, it goes by different names. Some people call it Chilean mesquite, Brazilian mesquite. Again, I like to emphasize, I just call them North American version, South American version. They are the mesquite tree. But again, this is your South American version, the one you will typically see in your parking lots, your nursery. Okay, see any thorns? And that's why you'll find this variety in your parking lots and in your nurseries. Nobody wants to deal with those thorns. But if you want a thorny tree, bush, tall bush, go out and gather those seeds and put them in pots. Grows easy. Well, I hope that helped. Now, again, what I tell all new residents to rural areas, get your trees in as soon as you can, and your family will thank you later. Okay, this is Dave Kaufman, and this has been West Valley Rural, and we'll see you next time.